Tonight on 8 out of 10 Cats, that's no business, it's all Hollywood. Here we Joe. It's Joe Wilkinson and their team captain, Jon Richardson. And facing them tonight, Gone to the Wild. It's Dawn O'Porter. Back of the net, it's Rob Beckett and their team captain, Jon Richardson. Now, welcome your host, Jimmy
And welcome to 8 out of 10 Cats, a show about opinion polls, surveys and statistics. Did you know, for example, 40% of people regularly reward their pets with treats? Who's going to the vet for a lovely long sleep? Who's going to the vet for a lovely long sleep? 44% of Brits think that we should have a space programme. But Britain does have a space programme. Doctor Who. And 27% of men play games on their mobile whilst in bed with their partner. I'm guessing Angry Birds, especially when she wants to play Snake. Right, let's get started. What are you talking about? That's the name of our first round. It's our panellists' job to guess the British public's top 3 most popular talking points. Jon's team, what do you think the nation have been talking about over the last week?
Olympics, innit? The winter ones?
The winter ones, yeah. Yeah, if you like things sliding down a hill, you are in luck.
I saw a sport where they ski for a bit, lie down, shoot, out of a gun, out of a backpack, put it back on and then ski off again.
That's the opening of a Bond film you were watching.
Well, that's what how's that a sport? And where'd you get the equipment? I've not seen any of that in JD Sports.
We won a medal, and the commentators got excited, and 300 people complained because commentators were getting excited, which is Michael Owen's been flown out on a big money deal. Let's just calm this down a bit. The BBC spent all this money getting everyone out there and cameras and that, and then they realised we don't have any commentators for winter sports because we shit at all of them. Matthew Pinsent's out there. If there was ever a time when this country needed rowers back home...
It was the judging there that got me, because I was watching a lot of the borders and stuff going down, the free skiers. But the problem was these guys invent while they're mid in the air. They go, do you know what? I'm going to put an extra twist in this. The commentators are going, that's... and they're just making up names.
Well, I become an expert within moments of switching on the Winter Olympics, and about 4 minutes in, I'll be going, well, that's a 9.8. What are you talking about? I'm the same with Bake Off, frankly. Watch it for 2 minutes, and then I have a very strong opinion based on literally nothing. Joe, have you done any winter sports?
Yeah. I like them all. I like them all because I absolutely love Lycra. I do all of them. I love the way it feels on my body. I feel sassy when I wear Lycra. I don't care who knows it. And I like watching people in Lycra. I'd watch anything it involved. Like I'd watch Songs of Praise if they all wore Lycra.
So what I'd like to see in Lycra, one man and his dog.
Yeah.
The shepherd and the dog in Lycra.
And a couple of the sheep sort of hanging about.
Now, the controversy in Sochi has been about gay rights. Some Canadians have decided that the Olympics is already quite gay enough.
They have made it the gayest Olympics ever, though. Like, even the logo, hot, cool, yours, just sounds like a lube. Doesn't it?
I was very disappointed in the opening ceremony because I wanted to see Putin really sort of, you know, like, express his masculine nature. I wanted to see him going down the luge, right, in his pants, wrestling a bear and using his cock as a brake. It just gets to the bottom, just sling the bear off, and just goes, gays, go! Leave Russia now!
Let's have a look and see whether the Sochi Olympics is up there. Yes, the Winter Olympics in Sochi are well underway. Britain's Jenny Jones won a medal in the female snowboarding. I haven't seen a woman go downhill that far since Britney Spears. Sean's team, what do you think people have been talking about over the last week?
Floods. Oh, well, floods, yeah, definitely.
It's been awful.
Yeah. I'm surprised there's an audience here. I thought there'd just be sandbags with some people in canoes peeping over the top.
I mean, it seems to be quite... I mean, I live down in Kent, and in the rural countryside, some of the villages have been cut off, you know, 3 out of the 4 roads in have been cut off.
Use the fourth road.
Oh, yeah. Except it goes the opposite way. Now, what I noticed is in the next village, it has flooded, and the guy was saying he was having a dump, he flushed it, ended up in the sitting room.
Oh.
But, I mean,
It's my perfect house.
I'll tell you what, I wouldn't blame the floods, I'd blame the plumber.
So, Paul, if the village has been affected, have you got sandbags around the house? Have you taken precautions?
The village is fairly big, but it rises up, so we're sort of, you know, it's only the lower places.
OK, because there's a builder in Somerset called Sam Notaro, nicknamed King Canute, who's constructed a 5-foot-high barrier around his home. Have a look. For the lawn, he's absolutely saved that lawn.
Jealous of that
My
lawn.
only issue is the water has definitely got to the house.
I don't think he's heard his name right there, to be honest. I don't think the other villagers are walking past that and going, you see what he's done to his house? King Canute.
Have you been affected by the flooding, Rob?
Nah. No, I've not been affected. I mean, I find it funny they've sent the soldiers in. What are they going to do, shoot the clouds? What do they do? Or does Mick or nominate each other to drink the flood?
You know, they rescue people. Why don't they do it, you know, like in Greece with the big giant bananas? You know, they just go through a village with those big bananas. Everyone gets on it.
You joke. In Surrey, an emergency shelter has been set up in Thorpe Park. I mean, that'd be amazing if your house has been flooded and you feel miserable, and then log flume. Yay!
I've been affected.
You've been affected?
Yeah, I think it's ruined the news.
OK. Here's Ed Miliband visiting some flood victims. Have a look.
Hi, how are you? Yes, it is indeed. It's, you know, it's interesting you've come out. You talked about 2003.
Yeah.
Of course, we had flooding here then. There was a report. There was a report done by the Environment Agency, and funding wasn't provided by the then Labour government.
Well,
we now actually have a plan to get a bund put at the back. And so we have got funding coming.
I
guess the issue is...
Can I make a suggestion for today? Can I make a suggestion for today?
The issue, Mr Miliband, is that why are you actually here? Because what I'm hearing from local residents, actually they're not actually interested in people just coming for a photo opportunity, you know, talking about local issues when they don't know what's been going on locally. So I wish you'd done a bit of homework before you turned up here.
Gone badly.
I love that. What he should have done there, and he's got a lot of respect from the British people, if he'd just gone... They just walked away.
You would be an amazing politician for a day.
Yeah. 2,000 feet. Fuck off, mate. It's a flood. What can I do?
Interestingly, UKIP councillor David Sylvester was expelled from the party a couple of months ago for blaming the flooding on same-sex marriage.
Everyone knows it's not the gays, it's the Romanians, isn't it?
I'm worried the floods are going to give bungalows a bad name. I know they flood easier, but apart from that, they're fucking brilliant. They're like all the best bits of a house without the bullshit of stairs.
I live in a bungalow and
Good for you!
Yeah, I really agree.
Right on.
Sorry, where is this bungalow?
In Los Angeles. Sorry.
You've come over from Los Angeles for
I
this?
have, yeah. Well, not just for this, no, but...
What I'm worried about, if the flooding gets any worse, I'm going to have to move my caravan further up the hill. Or I'm going to have to move back into my treehouse.
What, you like bungalows?
Yeah, I've got a few places, mate. I'm earning.
OK, let's have a look and see whether it's one of the most talked about things this week. Of course, the flooding. Yes, floods have been devastating parts of the UK. Eric Pickles was the first minister to apologise for the flooding. He filled his bath too high, and when he got in, Somerset flooded. OK, fingers on buzzers, one more thing to get. What do you think, John?
Well, it's the ongoing thrill ride that is the Scottish independence debate, I imagine. George Osborne has laid the law down to Scotland and said, if you don't want to be In yours.
You're
He
getting
didn't say
George
Enos,
Osborne
to be
and
fair.
Beyonce mixed up again.
The one that isn't Beyonce has told Scotland that if they go independent, then they can't have the pound. The phrasing he used was stupid. He said, if you walk away from the UK, you walk away from the pound. And what you should never do is ask Scottish people how far they're willing to walk and what for.
Saying that they've got to walk away from the pound. I mean, like, why all this argument over a quid? Do you know what I mean? Just let them have it. I've got a quid in the bottom of my bag they could have.
So this is the 18th of September this year. The Scottish voters will be asked, yes or no, should Scotland be an independent country? What do you think, Dawn? Do you think they should go, or...?
I'm in a little slight situation. I was born in Scotland. My dad lives in Scotland. Hi, Dad.
Go and see him while you're over here, for Christ's sake.
But still,
You live in LA, you're going to come over here and wave at him on telly and fly back.
that's actually quite correct. But I love him very much, and I'll see him next time. But I do think that...
I'm sure he'd be thrilled with that little terms and conditions at the end. If you do not keep up the payments, I will never see you again.
Can I carry on?
What with your relationship with your dad?
But they want to keep on to too much, don't they? They want to keep the BBC, they don't want to have to use passports to come into England, and they also want to keep the pound. So it's not really...
And the Queen.
And the Queen, they either become independent or they don't, and I think that's why they haven't really got
Well,
much
the Treasury's
support.
already said that it won't happen, they won't have the pound. They're all in Westminster now. All parties have said, no, you're not having the pound.
I feel a bit like we're being sort of an abusive boyfriend, going, you can't leave us. You leave us, you've got nothing, love.
They won't go independent because a lot of the stuff they've claimed to like, they only do to trick us. Like haggis is something they pretend to like. So when we go to Scotland, you have a haggis and you find out it's rancid.
Oh, it's amazing.
They all have a jolly good laugh about it. Same with like the Robbie Burns. Even they can't understand it. There's no... It's just made-up language, and they pretend it's ancient Scottish poetry, but it's not. He's just gobbled it. Hig the mora fluki da pookie down there. And they go, oh, okay, that's ancient lyricism, that is. He was just pissed the whole time. Just, hey, and the hoagie had a bogey.
Is it like Mrs. Doubtfire? That's Mrs. Doubtfire's voice, isn't it?
It probably is. I pick up most of mine from films.
Yeah.
Putin's been talking all the Olympics. All I hear is Alexander Meerkat. All the time. Doesn't matter what he's saying. He's a lot more likeable figure. Hey, we don't like it. It's simple.
Rob, do you think Scotland should stay?
Yeah, I reckon they should go, start a new currency. Royal Bank of Scotland can sort them out. They're well good with money, aren't they? They'll be fine.
Sporran. A new sporran. It can be called a sporran, and there's 10 jocks in a sporran. And 50 pishes in a jock. So it'll be 8 sporran, 12 jocks, and keep the pish. There is already a currency available to the Scots, which they can pick up any time, which is the drachma, which sounds great in a Scottish accent, doesn't it? Drachma. Hey, Jimmy, have you got any drachma? I miss all those old European currencies, like the escudo. That was a lovely one. The
Scudo.
Escudo.
Scudo. Scudo for the dog.
Everything sounds fine if you say it in an aggressive enough accent. A doubloon. Pieces of 8. Up me 12 pieces of 8.
They could make it weirder now. If they have a new currency, they could go a bit left field, maybe use doilies.
Have you got a massive collection of doilies by any chance, Joe?
You can use a doily to decorate a cake. If you dust a cake with icing sugar and then put a doily on it and dust it with cocoa powder, you get a lovely snowflake effect on the top of the cake.
You're giving him cake tips, are you? Yeah, give him a few more cake tips. That's what he needs.
McDonald's apple pies are nice. Do you like them? McDonald's apple pies.
Have you never had a McDonald's apple pie?
Fuck off.
They're the ones that are hotter than the sun, the lava.
Yeah, a taste of apple, them ones.
I was about...
You'll know if you've had one because you don't have a roof of a mouth anymore.
Yeah. I was about 16, 17 when I had one of those, yeah. They are not... I didn't like them, to
Tell you what, mate, stick one of McFlurry, game changer.
He's not wrong, either. He's not wrong. And I can tell you, Scotland losing the pound is not in our top 3, but In September, Scotland will face a referendum on independence in which they'll be asked to either vote OK aye or OK no. Fingers on buzzers, one more to get.
Well, there was Valentine's Day. I quite like Valentine's, actually. I know it's very commercial, but there's something I quite like about love being in the air for a day and this kind of sense that everyone might get laid, apart from the married people.
Yeah, it's the only time you can write an anonymous card to someone and it's OK.
But it's an email now, so it's never anonymous, is it?
Are you still sending emails? I'm still cutting notes out of the paper. John, did you celebrate Valentine's?
Well, this is my first year I've ever had a girlfriend on Valentine's Day.
Whoa. Before you applaud that, that's tragically sad, is what it is.
I had loads of birds, obviously, but February the 13th, thrift measure, get rid.
It's easier for people to meet people now, though. It's like Tinder. It's like an app where you just put your profile on it. People tick if they want to go out with you, or cross if they don't. So there's like 2 million people on it, this app. Lee Ryan's completed it. He's just waiting for a few more levels.
OK, Paul, if I was gonna try and, you know, impress my missus on Valentine's, what would I cook her? What would be the meal?
I love creating something like a good cake. Like, if you make a good sack
I knew he was going to say cake.
hang on.
Of course, a good cake.
If you've got a good chocolate cake, which is a Zacatort with raspberries laced all the way through it with cream, cover it in a chocolate ganache, and then strawberries on the top. Slice of that with some cream.
My only problem with that is I don't know what a ganache is. That's my only...
I think you're thinking of a Viennetta, mate. That's a Viennetta. Quiz in answer, mate. You're wasting your time.
When was the last time you had a Viennetta? They're very nice, don't you be sneering?
I made one for a series recently.
You made a Viennetta for the series?
They make them, mate.
But
In the factory, they're about a mile long. It's just a thing going...
I used Indian ice cream, kulfi, instead of ice cream, and it was delicious. I used a mango and passion fruit.
Mango in a Viennetta, that's bullshit.
Joe, did you celebrate Valentine's this year?
I had a bit of a mare. I found out there's a very fine line between making a romantic gesture and just exposing yourself at a stranger. I don't really want to talk about it, but let's put it this way. I've now got to do 100 hours community service.
I think love can be a scary thing, and nothing's more nerve-wracking than the first kiss. Take a look at this clip from the reality show The Virgin Diaries.
I'm 31 and I have never kissed a girl on the lips. We're saving our first kiss for our wedding, and a lot of people are just, like, shocked when they hear that. Like, really? Is that hard to do? As if no one ever does it.
I now declare you to be husband and wife. Ryan, you may kiss your bride.
I love you. I love you too.
The kiss was, hard to explain.
Strawberry lemon, Eddie. It tastes so good. Wow, it's a dream. Like, I get to, like, kiss them whenever I want to. We didn't have to hold back anymore. We could just be free with our love. I can't stop kissing. It's like, oh.
She just went right at it. I can tell she's been holding back, and now she's not.
Dawn, you look like you really enjoyed that.
I did. That was very physical for me. I couldn't cope with what was going on there at all. It's like with the cake, and that put me off cake. It was everything that's wrong with a kiss. Everything you don't want your partner to do when they kiss you is everything that they both did.
Have a bite of cake halfway through.
They looked like they were siphoning petrol.
Well, let's have a look and see if Valentine's Day is up there. Yes, Valentine's Day was on Friday. It's estimated 6 million people popped the question on Valentine's Day. And that question was, can we have a threesome? So those were the most talked about things this week. But in other news, Flappy Bird creator Dong Win has withdrawn the game from the App Store. It's been the biggest slap in the face from a dong since Talisa. And James Dyson says he plans to develop a new generation of what he calls intelligent domestic robots. Surely it would be cheaper and easier just to wrap Polish people in silver foil. At the end of that round, it's 1 point to Sean and 2 points to John. Our next round is Pick of the Polls. Sean, pick a question.
We've got a picture of Paul here. We'll have to choose Paul.
Clooney with a beard, look at him.
You're so well-groomed, aren't you? Very well-groomed.
Dashing.
You look like you've come out of the sort of human equivalent of a dry cleaners.
OK, here's your Paul Hollywood-related question. Most people consider themselves a good cook, true or false? What do you think?
I think they do think they're good.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you would experience a lot of people who think they're good coming on your show.
Some of the auditions, the people who come in for the auditions, it's incredible. I mean, I could strategically shave a chimp and by the matter of probability come up with something that's better than some of the stuff that I've seen.
Really?
Yes.
I bet that hurts when you say that to their faces.
It does.
At the early shows, is it like X Factor? Do you have the nutters in week 1 going, I made the cake?
No, we do an audition process, which we do film just to see how they're going to react on camera.
But you don't show us that?
No.
Why don't you show us the best bit?
Do you think that would be worth showing?
I want to see someone turning up looking like Joe Wilkinson going, I've done a cake. I've done a cake, don't eat it because it's not legal.
We've had people...
I kept it warm in my pants.
Paul, are you better than Mary Berry?
No,
because
Mary's not...
I know she's not got long left, but are you...
Do you know I met Mary's mother?
You met Mary's mother?
Yes.
What, at a séance? That's just...
You're in serious trouble now, my friend.
Seriously, who do you rate out of...
I've learnt a lot from Mary baking at home because actually doing 1 cake is sometimes trickier than doing 20 because the proportional size of the recipe and the way that it is. So I've got enough respect for her, absolutely huge respect for her.
OK, I do a little bit of baking. I don't do a lot of baking, I do a little bit of baking. I bake cakes, and I just sort of... I think there's a lot of love in it when I bake. I baked that recently. It's just at home, just hanging out, and I just...
Actually looks a lot healthier than me, doesn't it? It's a Sean Locke cake. What's it made of?
It's held together with hate. No offence to celebrity chefs, but I think people could be a bit snobby about cooking. Because, I mean, some of the best chefs in the world are working in kebab restaurants. Have a look at this guy.
I like the idea of the guy on the other side of the counter going, no, mate, no onions. Oh, never mind. But he starts throwing that knife around. Yeah, fine, I have onions, mate.
Joe, are you a hell of a cook?
Yep. I only cook... Well, I only really cook chicken, Kiev, chips and peas.
That's all you need?
Yeah, every night have that pretty much all year, except for, obviously, not on Christmas Day. I have turkey, Kiev, chips and peas.
Do you like mini chicken Kievs?
Mini ones, yeah. Juggle with them. Hot, hot, hot. That's how I learnt to juggle.
Well, Dawn, you could have a cookery book based on your tweeting. You often tweet your food.
I do, yes.
You tweeted this a few weeks ago.
Oh.
I mean...
I actually love cooking, and I cook a lot, and I am
Oh, yeah, well, you can say. Your pea to fish finger ratio is mental.
But you know when you get to the end of fish fingers and peas and you've got no peas that are mashed in the ketchup, so you have to have extra peas to make sure that that doesn't happen.
Oh, so they're contingency peas?
You don't contingency peas.
Oh, now you don't sound mental. Rob has a similar fish finger recipe that you may be interested in. He tweeted this picture.
Oh, God.
What happened there?
Basically, what I do quite a lot is I turn the oven on, put stuff in it, and then just go. And that, basically, I put them on, I forgot about them, went out, come home, that happened, and it was in the middle of summer, we had an heat wave, and it was well hot in the house, because that was going on, and the heat was on, and my cat was groggy. from the eat. It was all over the place.
John, what's your best dish?
12 fish fingers and 1 pea. I like when you've just got a load of shit left, because I only learnt to cook because I'm tight, so I don't waste stuff. So if there's a stick of rhubarb, half an onion and some Marmite in the fridge, that's tea.
If you're a good cook then, Dawn, what's your kind of special, what's your go-to?
My go-to is a one-pot cherry tomato and sausage bake. Very simple, but I have that with either mashed potato or quinoa or
mashed potato,
maybe
you
some...
say?
What's quinoa?
Quinoa is a grain that is very good for you. It's a non-wheat grain.
Oh,
so it's
quinoa.
quite good if you suffer from... Yes.
Quinoa. It's just like fat couscous, isn't it? I've had that.
OK, so most people consider themselves a good cook. True or false? What are you going to go with, Sean?
What do you think? True?
I think true.
Yeah. People do. What do you think, John?
I think probably false.
All right, well, I can tell you the answer is true. 65% of people consider themselves a good cook. My girlfriend asked me to knock something up in the kitchen, and now our cleaner's pregnant. It's John, Dawn, Rob, what do you like the look of?
We have the angry man.
OK, you've chosen the angry man. Last week, a man from Missouri was given 2 years probation after sending 20 packages of his cat's poo to a company that rejected his job application. So we asked our studio audience, is it wrong to take revenge, yes or no?
Like that, I would argue, yeah. It's not the sort of thing that's going to make a company think, do you know what, we were wrong about you.
John, you ever taken revenge?
I would like to say the sentence, I will have my vengeance. I'd like to say that at some point in my life.
Treat yourself.
Well, it doesn't work now because you haven't done anything, have you? Oh, you fucking...
It's weird because you wanted to say, I will have my vengeance in quite a masculine voice, but when you got pushed even slightly, you went, oh, you!
Yeah. I will have my vengeance.
Sean, have you ever taken revenge?
Have I taken revenge? Have I taken revenge, Jimmy?
That sounds like the bitter voice of experience there. Have you ever done anything, you know, years ago?
I've killed people, yeah.
Once, deliberately, there was a car in a car park that was parked across 2 spaces, and I was going through a particularly bad time. So, knowing...
Was it your 20s?
Yeah. Knowing that it would damage my own car, I reversed as if I was going to park in the second space, knowing that I was going to hit their car, and just did it anyway. If they're going to take 2 spaces, they have to deal with the consequences of what would happen if I tried to park there without checking. I'm not saying it was a good thing to do, but I'm saying I enjoyed it at the time, and if I had the chance to do it again, I probably would.
I did. I had something slightly similar. I caught this handicapped guy trying to use one of our spaces.
I hope you had a word. Do you have a word?
Oh, annoys me, you know.
Joe, what's the best way you've got back at someone?
Oh, the only thing I've ever done is bloke scratched my new pencil case, so I drove my van into the front of his house.
Paul, you've run bakeries, right? So you've had people working for you. Have you ever had a disgruntled member of staff that you had to let go, get revenge on you?
Not that I know of, but I mean, there is one particular case I really wanted to get revenge on somebody. I remember my wife was pregnant. We were rushing to get to the hospital, so we parked in a car park, took up 2 spaces literally so I can get her out the car. Came back, some bastard left a big mark.
OK, let's get some answers on this. So, we asked the studio audience, is it wrong to take revenge, yes or no? John?
I don't want to get it wrong and have the audience on my back.
Is it wrong? I think it is wrong, isn't it?
It's wrong to take revenge, but it's fun too. But the question is it wrong?
It is not wrong, Jimmy, no.
OK, all right, what are you going to go for, Sean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. I can tell you the answer is no. Incredibly, only 30% of our studio audience think it's wrong to take revenge. So at the end of that round, Sean, Joe and Paul have 2 points, John, Dawn and Rob have 3 points. And the winner is the name of our final round. Here's your question. Best way to impress your in-laws?
I just used a knife and fork. They're Irish. Do you know that the Irish don't put their knife and fork together after a meal.
They don't put their knife and fork together
No,
again?
and it really spun me out for the first year of my relationship with my Irish husband because, firstly, I just never knew if he'd finished, which I found really uncomfortable. And secondly, I just thought when you...
Was this just at meal times?
Just at meal times.
I never had a problem with in-laws. In-laws I'm good with. Mums and dads, they like me. I'm the sort of person you want to take home to your mum and dad and then leave, and then you go out and have a good time. Have a lovely chat about the route there. Love that. It's a cliched, hated question. Love a bit of that. How did you get here? I'll tell you, Ron. I'll tell you.
I reversed into a parked car and then just went straight down here.
I like to behave when I meet my in-laws like a little Japanese girl. I come in and I bow at everything. I bow like that. And every time they say something, I go... and they love that. And everything they say, I go... And I think that really makes them like me. And it creates a sort of warm... They relax. Another good one is, if they've laid out a lovely tea, just pick up the trifle and do it in one go. Like that. Now I'm going to drive. Or, if they ask you how you're going to provide for their daughter, just go, she'll be all right, and pull a stocking. Everyone down now! There you go. See? She'll be fine. Don't worry, I'll look after your princess.
All good ideas. Yes. Rob, your in-laws, what are they like?
They're nice, yeah. I think they've just grown to love me. They've just accepted me because they're a bit posh.
They're different.
They're different, yeah. They're posh.
They're a bit posh.
Yeah.
Kind of who isn't?
Yeah, but they do. Homemade baba ganoush. That's a different level, isn't it?
Homemade baba ganoush?
Yeah.
I've never had homemade baba ganoush.
No. I ate some before I knew what it was. That's not the right way round, is it?
What is it?
Some little brown dip shit. I don't know. He dipped something.
How much posher is your girlfriend than you, then? So when you first turned up, did they go... What have we done? Why is she trying to get back at us?
Let's put it this way. She's been to watch the polo with Harry and William playing, and me and my brother Joe used to have boxing fights at Christmas in front of the family.
OK, best way to impress your in-laws. What do you think?
Good job.
A good job's number 3.
Make them laugh.
That's the right answer. Yes, the best way to impress your in-laws is to make them laugh. Number 9 on the list is admire their house. Oh, this is lovely. I look forward to inheriting this when you're dead. Well, that sound tells me it's the end of the round and the end of the show, which means the final scores are Sean, Joe and Paul have 2 points, John, Dawn and Rob have 4. They've won! Thanks to all our panellists, our wonderful studio audience, and to all of you for watching at home. Join us on Friday for 8 Out of 10 Cats Just Countdown. That's it from us. Good night.